Am I live? Hi, everyone. Oh, is it get live a little bit earlier? And I was in a live myself. I was in an audio event in LinkedIn, and I was so into what they were talking about that, you know, I just got carried away. But here I am. Here I am. Here I am. Here I am. How are you? Recently I've been my name is Aya. I'm a mom advocate and business coach. How are you doing? What is up? I I coach businesses. I'm a business success generalist, honestly. So what does that mean? That means um what does that mean? Let's talk about this. What does that mean? Okay. So that means that I really just talk about all the different ways that all the things that your business needs to be successful. So here's the thing, it's not just one thing. It's not just one thing. I know people want to tell you that, but it's not. It's not copywriting, it's not just marketing, it's not just selling. Marketers in particular want to tell you that. It's not. It's There's so many pieces to having a successful business. There's many, many pieces. And having a successful business can be simple. I'm not saying it needs to be complex or complicated. It can definitely be simple, but there's still things you have to do at different times to make sure that it's coming together and working well. So I'm like, I'm actually going to really at any stage, whether you're an established business or a new business, like, just having a different set of eyes and just kind of talking about the different pillars and what we need to kind of go through to see what's going on in your business, and how we can make it better. So, and in addition to that, I love talking about being a mommy, being a parent. I love that because I do have two small children, a 4 and a 6-year-old. So, unfortunately, my whole life cannot revolve around my business. That's just not going to happen. And I like to provide a space for moms and dads to understand that, you can be a parent, you can do what you need to do. Hi, Ravindra. Do what you need to do to protect your family and have a good family, right? So it's so important to have a good family. That's so important. So you don't want to just only have this great business, but you don't have a great family, or your kids don't know who you are, or they don't see you. And I'm just not for that. So, a lot of what we talk about too, what is makes me kind of unique is I talk about that balance between having a family and having your business and building your business. And that's one of the reasons I'm really passionate about getting people to have efficient and effective businesses. So their business can be efficient and effective so they can have more time, they can buy back their time and spend more time being mommy, daddy, all that good stuff. So that's so important. So, what are we talking about today? Is it time for you to make a change in your business? And here's how. So, like I said, we talk about business generalist kinds of things. And in business, you're going to have to make changes. And I kind of wrote this really funny write up about how, listen, you need to be really careful before you get married in business. Marry something like your business, like marry something in your business, because you know what? Is Things change all the time. Things change, things grow, things move, things have to change. And so it's really, really important. And so I kind of read it too because I kind of liked it. Change is necessary in business. Don't get married to anything in your business except integrity and honesty, for real. Outside of that, everything's up for debate. It's okay to date everything in your business and really evaluate if you want to make a long-term commitment. Prenuptial agreements may be bad for in romantic relationships, but exit strategies and contract clauses are necessary in business. Wow. Oh, it's Solomon. So let me put in the link to come on the show, to come into the studio. If you want to come on the show, you're always welcome to come on the show. This is the link for the to come into the studio, and you'll be on live with us. And I feel a little off today because my whole thing is not going the way I want it to go, but that's okay. That's why we're live. I'm just going to chill out. I'm going to chill out. We're still going to bring the value. We're still going to bring the value, but I'm going to chill out. All right. So now we're talking a little bit about why is change necessary in your business. Change is necessary in your business if you want to stay profitable, if you want to continue serving your target market, if you want to continue to provide excellent resources and services, and so on and so forth. Because things change, people change, your audience will change and grow. So let's even think about an example like a musician. Let's say we have a musician, and let's say they came to fame as a musician maybe in their early 20s, and so they had a bunch of people in their early 20s, and that's who. And then if you want to grow with your audience, you have to start singing about different things. You can't just be singing about going to the club. Okay, we at the club. Okay, you 50 years old and you still talking singing about the club. Like how are you still singing about the club? Like I don't go to the club. Like I have a house, I have multiple, like come on. And so it's so important, because things change. I mean, and unless you're not growing with your target market, in the sense of, let's say you provide services and products for children, and so you always know that. So let's say you're a dentist and you are doing uh, dent, uh, dental stuff for children, specifically adolescent dentistry. So you know that, and so of course but you have to understand, if you're doing adolescent dentistry, you have to get new clients all the time, because those children are growing. Those children are growing. They're not staying at that age. They're growing. They're growing. They're growing. So you already know, okay, if you pick a market, a static target client, they're going to grow. Thank you so much, Ravindra. They're going to grow. And that means you need to get more clients. And so let's go back to that dental example. If you are doing like adolescent dentistry, and so once your client grows, they can't come back and be your client. That's it. That's it. They're not going to come back and be your client, because now they're in adulthood. They're going to go to a different dentist. So you have to, really think about that. And see, and even like maybe kids as they're growing, maybe what you're going to do for a 2-year old versus a 4-year old versus a 9-year old versus a 15-year old is different, right? So we just wanted to talk about that. And I kind of wanted to share with you something that's kind of going on with me too, because, even as a coaching, I have a coaching business. So my coaching business is called Icon Life Coaching. So I usually just kind of brand myself as we're personal branding. So I brand myself as a personal brand. But my actual business is called Icon Life Coaching. And so when I started my business, so that's my real business name, Icon Life Coaching LLC. Why do I say this? Because when I started my business, I was doing more. I was doing more like life coaching. I wasn't really coaching on business per se. I was doing more life coaching, coaching about relationships, coaching about boundaries, coaching about understanding yourself, coaching about bettering yourself. And look what I teach about now. Like, so what I teach about now, which I love teaching about, and I still love all the other stuff. It's so interesting though, because it's almost like my name doesn't kind of match anymore, because it's Icon Life Coaching versus, I might have to go back in and just be like, we're just Icon Coaching, right? We're just Icon Coaching. So, so even in everyone's business, you'll see that, things will change, like your messaging will change, your target market will change, you'll change, and things will just change. And as those things change, you have to be nimble. So the best thing is to be nimble and flexible in your change as your business changes. Like, don't resist change. Don't resist it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Let me say it louder for people in the back. Don't resist change. Don't resist it. Don't fight against it. Don't fight against it. Ride it like a wave. Okay, so I live in Los Angeles, California. And so I live close to the beach. Well, I mean, yeah, I live close to the beach. I'm like 10 minutes away from the beach. I don't live so if you're in LA, I don't live in the beach. So Ravindra, I can't put the link in the comments because I'm using a third-party service. I'm using a third-party service. So that's the only issue. But you can go to Ravindra, you can go to YouTube, and I think the comments appear in YouTube. You can follow me on YouTube. So my name on YouTube is just Ayegbuho. Let me put that in you. And you can come on the stream. It's real simple, actually. It's real simple. Okay, what's up? Ayo.
Yeah.
Ayo. Okay, so
Hello,
let's
hello.
spend a moment in time. So let's spend a moment in time talking about Solomon. So I love talking about Solomon because Solomon is my coach. So a lot of people don't know that, right? So I'm spilling all the secrets this morning because I'm just in a weird space. So I'm spilling all the secrets this morning. Solomon is actually my coach. He's my coach, right? So I have like, how could I believe in coaching if I didn't actually have a coach, right? So Solomon is my coach, and he coaches me all the time in different aspects of the business for different reasons, and it's a really interesting relationship that we have. And he's also a really lovely support. Um, and so one of the things I like about him is that our thinking styles are very different. So we are very different, like night and day. Like really, we're just really different. And so different things are important to us. Different things stand out to us. Different things And initially, I remember I used to resist. I used to resist that. I used to resist. But I've learned to kind of understand that that difference is actually making me stronger because I'm really good at what I do. And then so having this other example, and just mixing it up just makes it comes, like fortification alloys. So the alloys are usually much stronger than the actual element. So gold, if you actually have like pure gold is not strong. It will break on you in a minute. Like 24 karat gold, people, I know a lot of Indians love 24 karat gold, but it's very soft and it will break. So people put other alloys into gold to make it last, to make it last. So if you do like 18 karat, 12 karat, it's not because people don't have the money to get 24 karat. It's because if you really can't go anywhere with 24 carats. You can just sit there and look pretty. You can't do anything with 24 carats. It's gonna break on you. Um, and Solomon is from the Gold Coast, so there's a lot of gold in Ghana. So I know he knows about that. You have to go, Ravindra. Okay, bye. Come on to the live though sometimes. Bye, Ravindra.
Bye,
Um,
Ravindra.
so yes, the perspective from mother, yes, Naomi, is so uplifting. Absolutely. So anyway, so it's important. So I know I'm stronger. I know I'm stronger because of that alloy, that difference. And so that's really good. So my own little story is that so I coach moms. Everyone knows I coach moms. I talk about moms, and I really coach moms because I'm a mom, and it's really easy for me to relate to that and talk to people about that. In addition to talking about business, but I'll tell you guys a secret. Well, it's not really a secret, but I'll tell you guys something that you guys might not know. My DMs are full of men. My DMs are full of not men trying to hit on me. No. My DMs are full of like dads who are like, well, do you coach dads? It's like, what? So it's so funny. So and this has been like kind of a thing for some months. So this is not like a one day thing. And they're like, do you coach dads or what are you doing? And I'm like, it's not that I can't coach dads. I totally can. Like, that's fine. So I really recently have going through my own change in my own business because, I think I really have to start just saying, as a resource, I have something little coming for dads. I just have a test. I just want to test it out. Let's see if y'all gonna move out the DMs and into my world. So I have a little something for dads that are coming up soon. And I really want to take the time right now. I don't know if Deontay is on. Deontay Bonner. Let me put his name in the let me put his name in the Deontay Bonner. So I had a coffee chat with Deontay yesterday. I had a coffee chat with Deontay Bonner. So follow him on LinkedIn. I had a coffee chat with Deontay on yesterday, and so we were having this conversation. So he was like, "Well, why don't you coach dads? Are you going to do that?" And I was like, "Well, I don't really know. Like that's like a big change, and I'm not really." And he was kind of giving me. He's a copywriter, and he said something to me that I thought I really enjoyed because he's a copy. He's like, you can change anything with messaging. Like all you need to really do is just change your messaging. You don't even have to really change anything. You just have to change what you're talking about. So I thought that was really interesting and it was really helpful. And we just talked a little bit about that. And so it's something that, I know my coach Solomon has talked to me about. My coach Solomon has talked to me about, and all these other different things. So, change is a part of business, and it's okay. So you don't want to resist it. Don't do what I did, because I did resist it, but don't do what I did. Don't resist it, because it's not necessary to resist. Go with the flow. So this is what I was saying earlier. I live in Los Angeles, and I live close to the beach. And so when you go to the beach in Los Angeles, like you'll see surfers, right? So I used to also live in Hawaii years ago. This is years ago. And I used to live in Hawaii years ago, and you really see surfers in Hawaii. Like that's a real big thing there. But here too, you see I mean, every day you see they have their surfing community, and they go into the ocean, and they're like, right, they're waiting for they're waiting for the wave. And I love surfers. I love surfing. They're waiting for the wave, because they're cooperating with nature. They're not forcing. You can't force the wave. They're not going to force the wave. They're riding the wave. And I love watching surfers. I just love that, because it's such a great example of how to live life. You can't force anything, but ride the wave, because the wave will come, and ride it all the way to shore. Oh, Randall, yes. Thank you, Randall. Follow Theonte. Thank you, Randall. Yes, Theonte. Theonte Bonner. Shout out to Theonte. I appreciate you. Um, so yeah, so just riding, the wave. And so I had to learn that this wave of fathers, this wave of men that were coming to me, I was pushing, I was swimming against the I was like drowning, like the water was, I was like, oh God, because I was resisting. I wasn't just I wasn't just, riding. So you have to make changes in your business. Okay, Solomon, hit us with it. Coach Chess, hit us with it.
Well, again, it's great to be
Oh, we
here.
can't hear you.
It's-
Oh,
you
maybe
can hear
actually
me?
it's probably me. It's probably me. Hold on.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's me.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
That's funny.
All right. So, I was saying that it's great again to be, with you live, because a lot of the topics we talked about here are just excellent, and I think they are. You always find ways to dish out the nuggets, like the post you made on LinkedIn today, taking us through the nuggets, just that you discovered, basically watching a kids movie. And to me, it's amazing how you can find, great nuggets from seemingly, for lack of a better expression, mundane things. Some adults might consider kids movies as mundane, or oh, it's just kids stuff. But the reality is, when you get and dig deep and just stop, listen, you will learn so many things from it. I think that's pretty much my comment that I made on the post, that you have, if you will stop, you just stop, look, and listen, you learn many big business, nuggets and ideas for life. And I what I want to add to what you said earlier, change is inevitable. Change is the one thing that's constant, and the best thing to do really is to ride the wave. When you ride the wave, you actually save your energy. Remember, when you're riding, you're just going with the wave, right? And then you save your energy, so that at the end of the wave, you can actually use that energy for whatever it is you went there to do. And I think that's one of the things that's really important.
I love that. I love what you just said there about preserving your energy. That is a really nice nugget, preserving your energy, because that's what happens when you're fighting change, like when you're resisting it internally and externally, it's exhausting. It's exhausting. Many small business owners, many solopreneurs, many people in the startup phase of their business are exhausted, because they did not anticipate how much change would happen. They didn't anticipate it. They didn't know, man, it's going to be like a change. They didn't understand that everyone was going to be demanding something different for them. They didn't know. And so they're fighting it, and it just gets like they're, whether you're fighting the technological changes, you're fighting, what's going on. And people, and the thing is, when you're so firm, you break. You can't just, you can't just, when you're so firm, you're just going to break. You're just going to break down. And so
Exactly.
that's so powerful. So if you want to protect your peace, protect your energy, just understand that change is there. So here's what I want to talk about right now, because I promised you how to handle it. So one of the things I talked about was exit strategies and contract clauses are necessary. So this is a big topic. And so I guess as I was writing it, what was coming to me is was just this idea of,
If you don't mind, can I chip in something real quick before you? Yeah, I feel like you're going to change. You're going to get into the strategy, but when you were talking, one thing that came to mind again was when you're resisting, right? When you're resisting it, you are actually expending your energy to resist it, and that energy could be emotional, it could be mental. So the question is, if you find yourself maybe mentally drained, emotionally drained, and really, really pretty much it's like you're like a deflated bag, as far as your business is concerned, could it be that's because you're fighting, resisting the change rather than, riding the wave. So I think, I just wanted to chip that in there before you change the topic.
so I wasn't actually about to change the topic, but because that is actually what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk specifically about the mental and the emotional anguish of change.
That's
And
right.
and I want to talk about it from this lens of sometimes you have to exit things, right? One of the hardest changes for people to endure is things ending, things shifting. And on here, I was talking about it's okay to date everything in your business. It's okay to date in your business. First of all, guys, it's okay to date in your business. What does that mean? You don't have to get like right now. I'm using something StreamYard. I'm using this for my business. I'm using this for my business. I don't sign up for things annually because I don't want to sign up anything annually. I want to date you. Because what if 2 months in I don't like you? I want to be able to exit. If I sign up with you annually, I might not be able to exit. Read your contracts, folks. Read your contracts. When you enter into business, always see the exit clause. How are you going to exit? How are you going to shift? What happens if things have to pivot? What make see you have to look deep, far, far, and you have to see every different step that could happen. And that's the problem, because sometimes we don't want to do that. So for example, I was seeing here how you want to really date before you make a commitment. Even with when you have employees, you don't want to like make some commitment to an employee. You want to have a period of waiting time. You want to have periods of time where you see what's going on. And I said here, prenuptial agreements, they may be bad in romantic relationships, but you need to have exit strategies and contract clauses necessary in business. So people don't talk about this. So we're talking about something serious right now. In your contracts, do you have a way to accommodate change? Do you? Do you have a way to accommodate change in your contracts? Do you have a way to shift and pivot? Do you have a way to, when you're interacting with your vendors or with your clients or whatever you're doing, do you have a way to communicate with them that, hey, this is not working and we need to do something different? Do you think about that? Or this is what, or this is working, we need to do more of this, or this is not working, do you have a way for that? I'll tell you a story, and I want you to learn from what I'm telling you. I'm telling you this from my heart because this happened to me. So the thing about it is, because change is one of the hardest things, even though it's so a part of our life, it's one of the most crushing things mentally and emotionally. I don't know why that is, but it takes years to accommodate change in an open way. Really, it takes the wisdom of the ages. I mean, people be hitting 50 before they finally be like, "Oh, I guess things are gonna change." Like, "Oh, I guess okay. Oh, I guess my kids are gonna grow. Oh, okay." The nature. Even raising children, the nature of them growing up, it's devastating, because on one hand you're so happy they're growing up. It's like, thank you Jesus, bye. Like, do this, hallelujah. But at the end of the day, your heart is breaking, because you're like, your heart is breaking because, oh my God, my baby is big. Like my 6-year-old, I can't even carry her in my lap. I could cry right now. Like, she's my firstborn. She's my firstborn. I love her. And she is like right here on me. It's like she can't even fit in my lap. That season is over. That season is over. She can't even fit in my lap. And it's like it could never come back. But at what point she was in my stomach. And so it's hard to deal with. So first of all, I really want to acknowledge that. Don't, just because I'm saying change is inevitable and you got to change and everything, don't think that I don't know how mentally and emotionally crushing it can be. And that is hard. That's why in your business, you need to know that and protect yourself accordingly, because you cannot be going into business with your emotion on your sleeve. You thinking it's like, no. So let me tell you a story that happened to me. So I do client work sometimes, and my clients, they sign contracts depending on what's going on. And I remember when I first started, I was very shy about talking about renewing contracts. I was very shy about that. I didn't know, I didn't want to, I was just shy. And that's why it's really important to get somebody else to negotiate your contract sometimes. Like, if you can't be a sharp negotiator, get somebody else to do it for you. Listen, if you need help negotiating your contracts, I actually really mean this, call me, because listen, I'm a shark. I don't play. And I will get you the best contract out there. I don't play. I'm a shark. But sometimes it's hard to be a shark for yourself. So even though I'm a shark, like I'm a shark, it's hard for me to be a shark in my own business. I'm just not like that. I don't know. It's kind of strange. But anyway, and so, I didn't do a good job of being clear about, like, hey, we're gonna make changes and that's fine. And this needs to be the day that you tell me the changes. I didn't do that. And that cost me, it cost me emotional anguish, mental anguish, financial dollars. Okay. I'm telling you this story because I don't want it to happen to you. That's why I'm telling you. I don't want it to happen to you because it's not necessary. I wish, like, I didn't know though, because it could have been. And let me tell you something. I have the Spirit of God that lives inside of my heart, and the Spirit of God talks to me and He coaches me. And the Spirit of God started coaching me, like, no, you need to get this person to give you a commitment. Like, this is your business. This is business. You need to know, like, by this point in the month, you need to know what's going on. And I was grateful for the Spirit of God coaching me. But the thing about it is that sometimes you don't know that. So you have to understand that exits, things end, closure shifts, and you have to find a way to accommodate that in your business. Do not think everything's going to stay the same forever. It's not. Okay. What you guys say? If anyone has something to say, you can come on. Let me put my little link in here. You can come and join us. You can write in the comments. I can see the comments. That's what I'm looking at right now. And just share with us what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what's going on with you, because I really do want to learn. But I want to tell you, change is one of the things you will have to change in your business. And one of the major changes you will make in your business, you'll be ending things all the time. You will be ending things all the time. And you need to get a handle on how to end things. You need to have things in your closet. You need to understand that things will do not last forever. This is not a fairy tale. This is business. So as a result of that, learn how to navigate that. Don't get so stuck on things that it's going to be like this. What do you have to say, son?
No, I absolutely. And I think one of the things I want to add to is sometimes, not every change has to be big change. Some changes are big, they are significant. But through the years, you also learn that sometimes even some changes are really minute, they are small, but they can have a big, significant impact on your operations. It can have a big impact on the way on your gains, right? And so I think you would have to. It's important that you look at all the gamut, the whole gamut of changes that need to be made. And sometimes don't just pay attention. That means don't just pay attention to the bigger changes, because some people would say, "Oh, that's just a minor change. Let's focus on the things that in their minds are the big changes." But you may not realize that sometimes even the smaller ones have the biggest impact, because a small change can have significant ripple effect, and it might have a really big impact on the way you do things. I can give a really practical example. At Prayer Social, social media platform that focuses on prayer, we in the development and the plan of the sign up process for the platform, we realized that at one time we had a certain requirement on a second page of the sign up process, and we noticed that a lot of people were just missing out on not filling that particular providing that particular information. The little change we made was simply tweak it and bring that line item to the front. And guess what happened? Every person that signed up after that little change changed the whole thing, like made the whole process better. So it was just a minor change, but it made a significant and great impact in our processes and ways that we collect information from our users. So it's a simple thing. We just changed the arrangement the arrangement of the form, the registration form, in the sign up process on the platform, and that made a huge change. It saved us a lot of man hours, resources, in because if you don't get the right data, now you need someone to actually spend time manipulating that data, and finding ways to collect that data again. But if you solve that problem right from the beginning, that saved us a lot of time and trouble. So it's a little change, but it has a significant impact on our processes.
Definitely, definitely. So there you go. I think uh, absolutely that's so important. I think that little changes can have a big impact on your processes. But here are the two things you should always focus on in your business at all times, though. You should always focus on your consistent marketing efforts. What are your marketing efforts and what is your return on them? And then you should always consistently focus on sales. What are you selling? How often are you selling it? And are things still selling? So those are two things that are actually incredibly important. And in addition, they support all the other things. So I do think there's a triage in business for sure. Um, but all those little things do add up to something, big. And I think that sometimes when you think about revenue generation, like revenue generation has to happen, but then it happens because all these other things have to happen, right? So
Yeah.
the chicken before the egg, the cart before the horse, X, Y, and Z. So I want people to understand that everything in your business is important. Everything in your business is important, and just open your eyes and pay attention. Open your eyes and pay attention. Open your eyes and pay attention. And so I really wanted to so tomorrow, we're going to end the live here. I want to do a couple of housekeeping things. If you're still here with me, thank you. Tomorrow I have an audio event on LinkedIn. It's just on LinkedIn. It's an audio event on LinkedIn. It's kind of like audio room. So it's going to be interactive. It's at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And it's really for job seekers, career seekers, client seekers, people who are looking for trying to, they don't have a job, or they're underemployed or unemployed, or they're not in the career that they want. They are starting their business, or they're looking for clients. That is a big emotion. And so the purpose of the event is to show emotional and mental health support, because that is a big, uh, it's draining to be on the job search. It's draining to be looking for clients. It's draining, especially during the holidays. So we're doing a 6-week limited event. So it's 6 weeks because I want to do it throughout the holidays. I want to get us through the month of December into the month of January. So we're doing a 6-week event. So tomorrow is the first, uh, December 1st is 6 weeks. And it's really there for support every Thursday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's really just there for support. It's there to support people, give them a place to meet with each other, give them a place to talk, give them a place to just express and get emotional and mental relief. So I'm excited about it. And it's for anyone seeking job seekers, career seekers, underemployed, unemployed, people trying to get their side hustle going, people have their trying to get clients, all that kind of stuff. And just let's all come together and support each other. So that's that. And I will have something for dads soon, just because y'all blow up my DMs. And so I want to serve dads too. I'll have a little something for you guys. And generally, if you want to coach with me, just reach out. We can do if you like my energy, like my tribe, reach out and we can do coaching one-on-one or in a group setting. So I do group coaching, I do one-on-one coaching. I don't have a ton of people that I coach with because I'm not a factory. So, yesterday I was talking to someone and they were kind of telling me like, you need to do this, you need to do this. I'm not a factory. I'm not a factory. I'm a person that really loves working with people. And one of the ways that I amplify my reach with people is through video, is through my writing. And so, that's one way I really effectively reach out to people. But if you want to actually work with me one-on-one, there's only limited spaces for that because of course, I'm not a factory. So I like to tell people that. But thank you so much, Solomon, for being here with us. I gave a secret today. You might have missed it. I might not talk about it ever again, but but maybe you got it. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. We appreciate you coming
Happy to
on.
be here.
And
Happy to
everyone
be
is
here.
welcome to come on. Only Solomon, but everyone's welcome to come on. This is our time together. And I'm so happy to be here with you guys. Hopefully, I'll see you guys tomorrow at the LinkedIn event. And also, shout out to Deontay Bonner. Shout out to you. Thank you for talking me through that whole thing. Follow him. He's a copywriter. He writes copy and does email management and stuff like that. So he's a good person to know. All right. Thank you. Love you. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.